Hi, it's Madeline from Backlane Studios, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to use Clipchamp. This is mainly for PC users, so if you do not have a Mac and you're wanting to edit your own videos and not use iMovie, this is the closest alternative we have. So let's get into it. So here we are now in the Clipchamp app. We're going to have a lot of different options to choose from, but for right now, you'd be starting with create a new video, start from scratch. We're going to click that. It's going to start us. So now we see you have a big screen full of opportunities. We're going to start by importing media. This is where you would import your interview or anything of that kind, or B-roll, things like that, pictures, etc. So we can go in and we'll see, oh, you know what? For today's purposes, I'm going to use the earlier tutorial I did on Google Earth. I'm going to click that and it's going to edit that in. Great. So this is a long video and yours will likely be that way as well. And the important thing to note here is that you will also be receiving bumpers. So it's a good idea to have those in there as well, so you can put those first. But just to get the basics and the hang of things, what we would be doing is double clicking on that footage there in the left and dragging it down to what we call our timeline. It'll start to highlight things in a tealy green, which is a great way to know that you're doing something right. So there we are. We have the video now. You can resize it as always. So as soon as you get there, if you want to edit it before you start chopping it up, it's a good idea to start that right away. So if I wanted to zoom it in or keep it exactly the same, just make sure you're not getting any black borders around there if you don't want those. Great. So we can also move this if we need more space to see. We can click that little purple arrow in and it'll give us more space in the timeline. To press play, to play the video, you can either use this play button in the middle, or I love also just using the space bar. It's an easier way to do it, and it's easier to control when you want to start or stop something. So always keep your fingers near that space bar. Okay, so the video will start playing. Sometimes it'll be a bit laggy, not to worry. It's just what happens when you first get the footage in there and it's trying to catch up with you. Tutorial on how to use Google Earth Studio. Great, so I pressed, again, the space bar to pause it. And let's see, maybe we can go along. You can scroll and see all the video. I'm using that just if you have a trackpad, I'm scrolling to the sides. You can also use your arrow keys to filter through everything. So the right arrow key will go forward, left arrow key will take you back in time. But let's say I want to make a cut to the video. So for today, what we're going to do is you can click those scissors. So if you find the place that you want to cut it, for me, I'm thinking, okay, as soon as that screen changes, that's where I want to make a cut. You can use these scissors, or you can also use the S key, just the S, the letter, nothing else, just S, or click that there. So let's do it and see what happens. Great. Now you'll see these are two separate clips. I'll try to zoom in there. You can use this over here. Again, many new buttons. Pause this video whenever you need to clarify. You can zoom in there and see that's exactly where the cut was made. So this is a different video than this one now. I can move this one down. I can give space to it. I could put something else in there if I wanted to. So that is how you split a video. And the good thing to note about this as well is, let's say you make a cut and you also want, if there's a M or a pause that you're trying to get rid of, right? You're not just trying to split it in two. We'll find the next place. Let's say it's right there. And let's make another cut. So again, remember S key or the scissors. You just got to make sure you have your little white bar exactly where you want it to be cut, and that you have this clip selected. So remember, green, tealy green is a good sign. I'm going to press S, key S. There we go. Now we split it. So we have this little clip and the two other clips on the side. We've made a clip sandwich. Now, if I want to get rid of this, if it's, again, a pause, something that you don't need in your video, we can do it a few different ways. So we can right click on it and we can press, again, that was just a right click. We can press delete, or another option as a keyboard shortcut is just using the delete key, which should be somewhere in the upper right hand corner of your keypad. So if we press delete, now there is a big space. Now Clipchamp is good with this because they let you know, hey, I'm not sure that you want this there. Do you want that big gap? And you'll get some stripes if you keep moving your mouse around, because right now, if we play the video, playing it, a big gap before the other one starts. So to get rid of that gap, we can do it a few different ways. You could drag the clip back until you get the magical purple line. Magical purple lines are also good. And that would get rid of the gap. Or, so let's try that way. That way works, great. And this is a good option that you should know about, is how to undo something. Let's say we want to go back in time. We made a mistake. Nothing is permanent. All you can do is you can either click this little arrow here. Again, lots of these are really helpful, or you can use the command Control Z. Those are just the two keys on your keyboard in the bottom left corner, Control and Z. So that will take us back in time. Now we have the gap again. Another way to delete this gap is just press that big button there, and then it'll bring it back. This is great. The only thing to note with that is if you have things happening later on, let's say you're deep into the editing process, and this will make sense when you get to that point, and there's things you don't want to move, then I'd recommend just being extra careful with how you're deleting your clips if you don't want the photos to move if you already put in B-roll. But again, we can go into that later. So now you have the basics of how to split a clip, how to delete a clip you don't want. Now let's say, I want to add text to a clip. You have a lot of options right here. The one with text is the one we're looking for, right? And I do just like to use the plain text. It's a bit more controllable and there's not a lot going on, so it's great for our purposes. We can drag it down, again, always dragging, and we're going to put it above the clip because it's separate. So this will also be similar when you're adding B-roll or photos. Let's say we'll put it right there. Great. And it's selected, which is great. And you'll see it's a little confusing to look at right now because it seems like the text is white. So how to fix that is we'll go over to the right-hand side. This is how you edit all your effects. This right-hand side is editing, left is putting things in. Right-hand side, there we go. We have our, sorry, I'm moving my zoom, text there. And let's say we're going to say Google. We'll click on that there. Backspace. Well, you can't see, so I'll fix that for you. So again, how to edit the color right down here. Great. Let's make it black because we have a white background. Vice versa, if it's the other way around, just something that you can actually read. So let's say Google backspace, 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 Google Earth. Great. So now we have the text there, and to make sure we're not adding anything else, I'm going to press the escape key so we're not typing. You can adjust the font size, but what you have to do before you do that is, because if you see, as I just did, nothing was really moving, but you have to select the text you want to edit, and you can make it super big by sliding it around, or super small. You also, if you have a number you have in mind, let's say, 37 is too small, let's kick it up to a 50, press enter, and then it'll be bigger. Now the thing is, I might want it on one line. Even if the text is big, this is going to apply to your titles. We'll try to drag that out, and then we'll drag out the other side a little bit as well. So it has it all on one line. The only thing to note is then we're trying to center that as well. So right now, because we edited some things, we might want to position it differently. Now there's a few things you can do in this panel. You can also change the font. You can do something else. That's interesting looking. Let's go with this one for today. Great. And then you can also put it to the left of the box. You can put it to the right of the box, or you can put it in the center. So just double checking where you want it to appear on your video. And you can also adjust the positioning with this bottom at the very, very bottom there. Center is usually what you'll probably be looking for. But let's say if you're adding a caption to a photo, you might want to hit it to the bottom corners or the sides, anything like that. So that's how you use the text function. And it'll only appear for the time you let it to. So again, we're going to zoom in. We're going to press play, space bar. It's there for a bit, and then it disappears. So that's how you use the text function. We're going to just move that right now over to the side. And the last thing I'm going to show you today is how to add transitions. So this might happen between photos, between certain clips, how you make it fade in and fade out like you see at the movies. So we're going to go to transitions on the left side there, right? And we have a few options: cross fade, cross blur, fade through, tile, lots of different options to choose from. Usually what you're looking for is probably just a crossfade. How do we add that now between our two clips that we've edited? Well, we're going to click and we're going to drag just like everything else. And you'll see that magical teal, again, that color saying add, pick me over here, add transition. We drag it, we drop it. Now it's there. Now let's see what that looks like just right off the bat. So it's a slow fade, but let's say we wanted it a little bit different. We're going to go to that right-hand side, click on transition. We can change the duration. We can make it super long. We can make it super short. Let's see what it looks like super long and see how that is. Clicking over here again, you can always quickly go anywhere you need to by just clicking on that top corners of the playhead. Is that what we're going to be calling that white line there? So let's see how that transition looks. Spacebar play. So without further ado, let's get into it. So that was a very slow fade, and it looks a little choppy right now because again, this video is very big and it will take a second for it to load. So let's say I want to make it a bit slower. Let's just do a 1 second one and see how that looks. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, once more. Okay, again, it's just for the learning purposes, but that looks better. I like that one. And for the tutorial, is there any other things? Again, you can always go back to your media, and that's where you're importing media as a review. You can also, if you want to, you can record voiceovers, but we'll get into that at a later date. Content library will have some things that they're offering for you to use. I find we don't use that too much here for mapping our memories. Text is the good one. Text is a great important thing to know about. And we went over transitions as well. So those are all the things you need to know about Clipchamp. And if you want to add a title to your video, we're going to click that left corner here and we'll say Google Earth video. And that's how it'll save. Now there's nothing else you need to do until you need to export the video, which is when it's all said and done, because Clipchamp will save it for you in the application. So there's no need to worry about it disappearing. And for exporting, let's just say you got it. You finished your video, it's done. We'll press export and that'll take you to a new page. Let's click 1080p and then it would start to save this way. So that's how you export a video and save it to your computer. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.